Hey everyone, and welcome to today's screencast. Today we will be talking about this athlete's circle of care and the importance of the central and peripheral team as a part of the sports medicine team. I'm your host, Carly Parkinson, and today we're going to first step and see where we have been. So where have we been? We've spoken before in class about the importance of the history of sports medicine to understand where the future is heading. We spoke about Milo of Croton, Claudius Galen, Kramer, and the Trainer's Bible, the formation of the NATA, the CATIE program. But now where are we really going? What is the purpose of knowing the history and each individual role that each team member plays on the sports medicine team? So, what's our hook going to be? Why is this important to you? If you look here in this photo, you'll see the image is closely focused in the individuals that are surrounding this athlete. Why do we need this? So you can see this athletic injury here is a photo of the University of Georgia. This athlete is surrounded by individuals who are concerned with one thing: his health and well-being. What is most important to these members of this circle of care is the athlete's well-being. So we need to think about teamwork. The importance of teamwork in the sports medicine team and understanding the different levels of the circle of care is pertinent to the outcome for the athletes. So, what members of the sports medicine team play a role in the athlete's circle of care? That's our essential question for today. By the end of this screencast, I want you to understand and be able to differentiate between the various levels and roles of the athlete's circle of care, and to illustrate the central and the peripheral team members and differentiate the roles and tasks of each member by producing a creative project. We'll get to the project, I'll get you your rubrics, and we'll be able to work together, and I'm going to assign groups for this project. We'll talk about that later on. So let's get down to it. The circle of care. The athlete's circle of care consists of two parts: the central team and the peripheral team. So the major concern of everyone on the team is the welfare of the athlete. If you remember, let's think back to the photo of the University of Georgia athlete that's injured and the people that were surrounding this athlete. There are so many more members of the central team and the peripheral team that may have not been present in that photo, but ultimately play a large role in that athlete's injury, repair, recovery. The central team. So these members are focused on the athlete, and it includes the athlete's parent or guardian. This might be a little different for collegiate athletes, but most of the time the parents or guardians do want to be involved once their child has been injured. The team physician, the certified athletic trainer, and the coach. So take a real quick second, you can pause the video and just think about who was around you, maybe if you were injured before, or what you have experienced in your clinical experiences. The peripheral team. So this team helps fulfill specific needs to the central team and includes the primary care physician, the athletic training student aides, pediatrician, cardiologist, dentist, sports nutritionist. These are the people that we discussed in our last meeting that you have in your notes with their importance and roles in the sports medicine team. So think of some other people that maybe were not in your notes that you've thought of since then after reflecting. So let's look here. So we have the central team. You can see we have the athlete, the athletic trainer, coaches, parent, guardian, and the team physician in our central team, the center of our bullseye. So I want you to look at the members of the sports medicine team from your notes from last time, and I want you to jot down a few people or highlight them in your notes that you think are vital to the peripheral team. I want you to be thinking about who you would choose to be in your peripheral team if you had to make a sports medicine team and prepare an athlete circle of care. So back to the central team. So we've talked about the coach. This is the person directly responsible for preventing injuries and preparing conditioning program in most secondary schools and sometimes on our higher levels. So they're responsible for equipment. This could be different on the higher levels where we do have equipment managers. So we need to have good communication between the athlete, the coach, and the athletic trainer to ensure best care for all of our athletes. So the coach should have knowledge and skill for the sport they coach, and they should help the athletic trainer for understanding these things. Our coach is vital because they're going to be referring our athletes to us as soon as injuries occur. Parents, why are they important? Parents should be actively engaged in prevention and treatment of their child's injuries. Good communication is always helpful, of course, if an injury occurs, and especially in the secondary school setting, we're going to be calling parents as soon as an athlete happens. So hopefully our parents are teaching our athletes to distinguish between pain and discomfort of an injury. If not, that's going to fall on the athletic trainer's role. Also, we're hoping that our parents will be teaching proper nutrition and conditioning and just maybe having a communication with parents as the athletic trainer. So decision making. Why is decision making important? Let's just talk about that for a second. So decision making. Who are making decisions for this athlete? Who are we referring to? Who are we communicating with? As athletic trainers, we need to talk to our team physicians and see what they think is the best decision, or maybe even their preferences of the way certain injuries should be handled. So the athletic trainer works in cooperation with the team physician, as we talked about. So these two have a very pivotal role in the central team. And also we would always hope that our coach should support the medical staff. Decision making about a coach being a vital tool. We just need to understand that the coach can be really important in the recovery role, especially the psychological role that we've talked about previously. But most importantly, communication between all members is vital. So, take 5. I want you to pause this video right now, click on these 2 links, watch these videos, and let me know what you think. You can shoot me a message in the discussion board, and we will talk about it in class next week. So go ahead and pause and watch these videos. All right, so we watched some videos. We've had a really great lesson over the past week. We've talked about sports and exercise being a part of culture. Milo Croton, Claudius Galen, all the important people that have shaped sports medicine. We've talked about how different athletes range in age and how that changes as their experiences go on, and that athletes require specialized care that address a variety of different concerns, and that we need to have communication and the sports medicine team in place, especially for those specialists that we've talked about. So, closure real quick. Go ahead and I want you to read this question, and as soon as you do, I want you to jot down your answer on a piece of paper, and then at the end here in a second, I'm going to go over it. So select the correct answer. Which individual is not a member of the peripheral team? Next question for a college wrestling athlete. Which member of the peripheral team do you think is most important from the list below? So we look here. We want to see which one is not a member of the peripheral team, and hopefully you wrote down C, the team physician, because they are part of the central team. Here, we have had a little discussion about the importance of sports and the people that we put on our peripheral team. And when we have a collegiate wrestler, we're most likely going to want to have a nutritionist, a part of the peripheral team, to really educate and be able to help with cutting and gaining for competition. All right, so now I want you to reflect. Let's talk about the cycle of care. Who is the most important to you and the specific sports you interact with? What have you seen and through your experience that you think is most important? So go ahead and I want you to reflect on that, and when we meet in class, we're going to have a great discussion about this, and then we'll split into our groups and work on the project. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining the screencast today, and I really hope that you understand the circle of care and that the sports medicine team and the roles of the specialists that we spoke about previously really makes sense now. So I just left you with some funnies. I really hope that this has been a fun experience. So please reach out if you have any questions, and I will see you next class.